Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. There have been a lot of moves that we haven't talked about yet. A lot of them just happened this morning. So let's talk about them. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. My name is Jimmy. I'm sitting next to Jake. We got BBD producing in the corner and Trevor coming to us live from the studios in California. We're brought to you by SeatGeek. Woke up this morning, Trev. Tons of moves have been made. Baseball is
back.
Hot in the streets. And that's Jake Storielli. Jake, how you doing?
James, Trevor, coming live from his Magnum Condom studio. Everyone in the chat, what is going on? Baseball remains hot in the streets. There's actually a little pause. And then this morning, actually, I guess it started last night, Rizzo, A-Rod on the call. But since then, baseball, my goodness, we're waking up. Schwarber, Matty Chapman was at this house. Seiya Suzuki, a storyline that's kind of gotten forgotten for a little while. We still got to circle back to Jesse Winker because he got the Joe's McFly curse. Got the handshake and got traded. So
how many people that Joe's McFly has met have been traded now?
Everyone, I think.
3? Legitimately 3. Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, and Jesse Winker.
Jesse Winker.
And he did take a picture with Jose Ramirez.
Took a picture with Jose Ramirez.
Oh, my God. Also, Bruce Stargratterall.
Oh, yeah. They kind of need him.
They do, but just be on the lookout.
We're on the lookout. Trev, what's going on with you, Big Papi? Big day.
Big day for me today. Happy birthday to my beautiful bride, Olivia. 33 years old today. Am I supposed to say that?
Happy birthday. Yeah.
We're the same age.
She's young enough. It doesn't matter. Joe's also shook my hand, and here I am. I got kicked out of the house. I'm back, like Jake said, in Magnum Condom Studios. Everything is happening right now. I think we're going to have some tidbits on this episode about Matt Chapman that I'm just going to throw out there.
Oh, you're going
to talk about that later.
Sources.
I'm happy to be back home, but I miss you guys. I had a really good time out in Arizona. The house was amazing. You guys did a great job. So I want to give you guys a little bit of golf claps for setting it up and letting me come and be out there.
Oh, thank you, Trev.
It was an excellent time. James, how you doing, bro?
The Arizona dryness has made mornings incredibly rough for me. Basically, my nose is a cement object that's just kind of like silly putty to my face, and it hurts a lot. And Peter Moylan, bad for my sleep.
Yeah, he is.
No, he actually called it like an earlier night than us last night. But still bad for my sleep. No, I'm good. I woke up to find out all of this.
Yes.
Which is...
Me too.
So I'm still kind of taking it all in. Obviously, I think East Coast bias, which I readily admit that I have. Chapman to the Blue Jays is like a sword to my gut as a Yankees fan. But
yes,
Blue Jays fans are getting what they wanted in like big moves. I think they're out on Freddie now. I think we kind of heard, well, I heard words, and the way I interpreted them, it seemed like Freddie was going to the Dodgers, which I assumed before I heard that stuff anyway. But you got Chapman tidbits. This is the biggest one that I think. The Suzuki one is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I love the Schwarber contract.
Schwarber got paid.
And the Jesse Winker move, I like too. I think we have more teams trying to win than not this year. And I hope people don't harp on the two that are like clearly trying to not win and shed payroll. Because
I think we're concentrating talent, man. I don't know.
What's that?
I think we're concentrating talent at the top right now. That's what it seems like to me. I mean,
a couple teams that we thought were going to be in the middle, I think, have dropped into a different tier. But also, I made the TPP release schedule this morning, and I was surprised how quickly we're going to get to teams we're going to be excited to discuss.
I think
Okay.
what I'll combine all of it. That's what I do here. Is that there aren't teams, because again, this stems from being Yankee fans. We were looking for teams that we can trade with and try to pillage. Right now, the only teams that are like for sale, take what you want, would be the Baltimore Orioles, who don't have much to want, if we're being honest. The Oakland Athletics, who the fire sale is very much in process. The two largest pieces, arguably three of the largest pieces, have been moved. So they've been doing their thing. I think my Diamondbacks are selling, but we never really know with them. So that's where things get tricky. There's not a lot of for sale signs up, which is really good for baseball, which Jimmy mentioned. On the other side of that, Trev, I see what you're saying. Right now, the top tier teams, like the Blue Jays, the White Sox, the Dodgers, Braves,
Astros.
their talent level, even the Astros, pending what they do, like just the amount of on-paper talent on one team. Order Starbucks.
I guess you guys are right. Like, there are more teams that can compete, especially with an extra 2 playoff spots this year. The way my brain was interpreting it was, I feel like there was a couple, like 3 or 4 rosters that I consider like far and above better than anybody else. But that means there's still 8 spots to fight for. So this shit's getting exciting.
But at the top can get heavy. That's always been the way it goes. You can buy your way.
Yeah.
You can buy your way and trade your way and off-season your way into a playoff spot. But the playoffs is a crapshoot. The goal is to have enough teams trying to compete so the 12 teams that make the playoffs all were trying to make the playoffs. And like the last couple years in 2020 when they really expanded it, we had teams make the playoffs that weren't even trying to compete. They were like shedding payroll but just getting by. And then that incentivized more teams to be like, oh shit, we can make the playoffs and not go for it. So I think we're getting, if you cut the league in half, I think the top 15 are all teams that you say, yeah, they're trying to win this season. And we had playoff teams the last couple of years that the Barlands, other teams that are like trying to shed payroll making the playoffs. So if the top's the cream, I still think baseball's in a good spot with the amount of teams that are competing and acquiring.
Yes, the Jalen in the chat is asking me to name those teams that I said have the big concentrated roster of stars. I mean, I can try real quick. Dodgers, Mets, White Sox, Blue Jays, Astros, Braves. That's 6.
Trevor, are you revealing your potential pool for the April 6th announcement?
You guys know how I feel about the Phillies. They're not going to be my World Series pick, but
okay,
we'll see what they do. Should we start the Chapman trade? Because I want to just get my thing out there.
We're Cron Pod. We're either reverse Cron, and I think Chapman helps with that.
I love the Cron.
Wait, no, I think you got to go Cron.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Jock Peterson just tweeted out a gif of dominoes falling, and that is the moves that we're seeing are coming in order for a reason.
It's how
dominoes falling is a Cron thing.
Yeah.
Know what else is a Cron thing?
Peter Moylan.
Yeah. Well, this actually ties into that. I was going to talk about Roman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which kind of links to Peter Moylan.
Peter's
in
a
different
walking
ways.
Boner.
He kind of is.
Right?
He kind of
he's
is.
hard all the time.
He kind of is. So if that is not your problem, if you're actually having the opposite problem, if you're struggling to get a stiff Peter Moylan in the bedroom, you should go to getroman.com/talkin today. If you are prescribed, you get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. They'll get you in touch with a professional, not me, not Trev, not Jim, not BBD, not Peter Moylan, an actual professional that works on downstairs areas, I guess. I don't know. I'm not well versed in that side of it, but they're professionals. So why don't you Go to GetRoman.com/Talkin. If you're prescribed, $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you have the confidence to be Roman ready. Be Roman ready like the Jays, or be Roman ready like the White Sox.
Matt Chapman doesn't need Roman.
Oh, my God, no.
But we're not all Matt Chapman, and that's okay.
And that's okay. Get Roman.
Matt Chapman would use Roman if he needed it.
So are we going to Winker, our guy?
Yeah, Winker's the first move that happened that we have not talked about yet. It feels like it happened a long time ago because so many other moves have come.
True.
But it's a big trade. We were at Brewers camp when it went down. Chris Rose and Joe's McFly were with the Reds taking pictures with Winker and all the guys on the Reds, and then that mood got zapped. So they Joe's texted us at one point. What did he say? Just like, weird vibes here, man.
Weird vibes here, man.
Winker is a stud.
Yes.
And the Reds traded away a stud for salary relief.
Yes.
They did not even get a big return. So the Reds, unfortunately, are one of the two teams that we can point our finger at and say, you are not trying at all. So how'd they do that? They packaged Eugenio Suarez with Winker, and the Mariners are paying all of Suarez's contract for 2 years of Winker, or is it 3 years of Winker? I think it's 2 years of Jesse Winker.
I think it's 2.
So the Mariners, their lineup now, and then I'll throw it to you guys, is 2. Adam Frazier, they traded for him. Mitch Haniger, they traded for him. Jesse Winker, they traded for him. Ty France, they traded for him. Jared Kelnick, they traded for him, but he was still in the minors. Eugenio Suarez, traded for him. J.P. Crawford, traded for him. Tom Murphy, traded for him. Abraham Toro, traded for him.
Hot.
Jerry, doing his thing. Mr. DePoto likes the trade.
That is his thing.
Yeah.
What do you
That's
get?
what that team's known for. Trev, you go. I'm finding a good Jakey stat.
What do you want me to say about this? I mean, the Reds are addressing their needs, which is just payroll shedding to the max. It's they didn't want to have Eugenio Suarez's contract in the books. They got rid of it. Unfortunately for Reds fans, they're not reallocating that money anywhere. Hopefully down the road that becomes the case, but it's not going to happen this offseason. For the Mariners, they address a big need for them, which is a bat. Someone that can drive in runs, that gets on base. I mean, the guy is an elite level, non-chase guy. Almost a 400 OBP last year. It's exactly what they need. There is a little bit of a platoon split thing with Winker. C. Rose and I talked about that a little bit, but I mean, it's better to have a platoon split as a lefty than as a righty because you're going to face many more righties, and he absolutely mashes them. So, I mean, the Mariners are a team that we said prove it again in 2022. We didn't really know how to feel about 2021, and I think this is going to help them do that. This is a division that's not crazy strong. I mean, this is Seattle's window. Now we have to see what they do with some of the other outfield guys. They kind of have a logjam there. Kyle Lewis is, I don't know if he's going to be ready for the start of the season, but this was at one time one of the bigger prospects in baseball. So we'll see what happens with him, but go Mariners, man. They're making a run at, and I don't think they're done yet, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
So
they got a lot of, their payroll is $107 million right now, I think. Like, there is plenty of room to add.
Increase the margins in Seattle. When we interviewed Jesse Winker, I opened up with kind of one of the worst interview questions you'll ever see. I just basically said, like, you're really good. Like, you know that, right?
Thoughts?
And he was kind of like, okay, maybe Trev? I thought this was show. Jesse Winker, since he came up in 2017, 288, 385 on base, 888 OPS. Those are his career numbers. Last year, he's above that. Know who are the only guys in baseball that have 285, 385, and 888 since 2017, since Winker got called up?
There's only how many other guys?
There's 6.
Wow.
It's Trout, it's Freddie, it's Yelly, it's Rendon, it's Soto, and it's Justin Turner who we were hanging out with yesterday.
Justin Turner.
And shows kind of how overlooked he gets in that Dodgers lineup sometimes. Oh, fuck. Justin Turner. Joe's met Justin Turner.
They didn't take a picture.
They didn't take a picture.
No, we did get a group shot.
There is a group shot.
So Jesse Winker, in this stat, he's the sixth best hitter in baseball. I'd ignore all the other stats. No. Jesse Winker is really good. A really good ball player in his prime that all he's done is be good, which is really hard at the MLB level. I love it for the Mariners. Their lineup has some balance right now. Our guy J.P. Crawford, let us not forget. No, there's some good lefty-righty balance. When we're talking about these super teams like some of the White Sox and guys like that, this team can still improve on the margins. If they tap into Eugenio Suarez, that guy's got a ton of talent. So they signed Robbie Ray. I love it for Seattle. It's exactly – Seattle fans came into this offseason hoping for what? A big guy or two, hoping they could get a Chris Bryant or something like that. Get Robbie Ray and Jesse Winker? Shit. That's what I wanted.
I know Suarez has owned money, and I don't know the Fangraphs analytics, the outlooks, but he had 3 seasons in a row of really good offense, and he's good with the glove as well.
And one year he tried to play shortstop. Yeah, I guess I just don't know. The last 2 years have been down. Yeah, I don't know if he's struggling with velo. I don't know if the league's figured him out or what it is.
I don't know the reason for why the last 2 seasons were down.
A negative WAR last year.
But if they could tap into the 17, 18, 19 seasons, all 3 of those years, he was really good ball player. And he's going to be their starter, right? They're eating his salary, but also he's in there.
You'd assume
he could be. They're going to do something else because they have too many outfielders right now. If you got Kelnick in center, Haniger in right, and Winker in left, you got Kyle Lewis, who chat reminded me was the 2019 Rookie of the Year. So not just a big prospect, but also came up and did the damn thing. I know that he's had some injuries. He's kind of on the back burner right now. You also have Julio Rodriguez, who is the prospect in the minor leagues right now.
Special.
So, maybe Winker just goes there and DHs and they bring in somebody else and Toro kind of becomes that utility piece that goes all over the place if they bring in a guy like Bryant. I think there's more moves to be done here. And I kind of like where they're sitting right now. I think, like I said, the division isn't great and they have a nice little window here. So Mariners fans, this is a very exciting time. Get out. I don't know if they're going to do this anymore, but when Felix would pitch, there was the Kings court and they had the yellow flags behind them and it would go crazy. I expect that kind of energy all the time now in Seattle because this is a damn good team.
They should dial back up the Reds. Go get Luis Castillo.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is not over for them.
They've got talent in their bullpen. The Seattle Mariners are a really good baseball team. Go Seattle, go. Make the playoffs. Okay, the next thing that happened is we talked about Olson already, right? Olson was live. We did a lot of that. Okay. The extension we didn't talk about, but that's a great deal for the Braves. And if you're Olson, I have no problem with him accepting it. He just got his ease of life. Back home to Georgia. Contract that locks him up a ton of money. I'm very happy for all parties there. And it does help out with the not getting Freeman, which I was upset about. But, Olson for 2 years instead of Freddie for 5 or 6, whatever he's going to get. But now signing that right away, it does make the move. And, Moylan, who was upset about the Freeman stuff as well, even he was like, that helps a lot. Yeah, he was happy. You locked up a stud in his prime for 8 years. They bought out the final 2 years of his contract. They extended him for 6. So they get Matt Olson through the end of his prime, and there's a couple years at the end that maybe they're tough, maybe they're not. That dude's a stud. And we'll see where the Freddie number lands. That's been the popular discussion in the house. Depending where Freddie's number is, are the Braves going to utilize some of the money that they're actually going to save? And again, these people listening know I love Matt Olson so much that I think there's some even stuff there that if they go out and get more and more pieces, the Braves, they deserve to be talked about in that super team category.
Oh, I did. I mentioned them.
They're in the 6.
So, as you guys know, I was out to dinner with Chappie,
Yes.
Olson, and Pinder the night before all this went down. And they were they had good perspective about what was going on. They all come up together. They all played together for a long time in the Oakland organization. They knew things were happening. Olson mentioned about the Braves and how that could be, a great fit. All this goes down the next day. I texted Chapman. I said, did Olson have any idea that this was coming? Because in 24 hours, he got moved to his hometown team and a bag thrown at him. And Chappie said it just happened in the blink of an eye. He had no idea. But for him, obviously the Braves are getting an incredible talent. Sad for Oakland fans. But for Matt Olson, the person, it couldn't have went any better. If you have this uncertainty in your life, in your profession, this outcome is best case scenario for him. So I think it's incredible for the Braves and for him.
Yeah, I mean, depending where Freddie sets the market right now and what happens for Matt Olson's next 2 years, could he have broken the bank more? 2 years from now, what would a top free agent first baseman on the market look like? That's probably 200 mil, something like that, a little more. He gets pretty much that without the risk of free agency timing, which we're going to talk about when we talk about Kyle Schwarber and a couple of these other guys that sign. You just eliminate all of that. You get to be your dude. And what's the difference between, I think someone at the house said, what's the difference between $140 million and $160 million?
$20 million.
$20 million. It was $20 million.
$20 million.
It's a lot.
Difference.
I can't, you know what? You can't say that, dude.
That's why I didn't. That's why it was a joke, Trev.
Okay.
Not saying that.
It's $20 million.
I'm always joking. Jimmy, tell him.
Jake's always joking. I got something cool. There's kind of a rhythm to the Braves lineup now. You can go Ozzie, Olson, Austin, Ozuna, Adam. Kind of an OA thing.
Yeah.
With the names.
All right. We
Eddie,
You want to talk about any of the prospects going back to the A's or kind of let Farm to Fame do that?
Let Farm to Fame do that.
Yeah, let Farm to Fame do that.
The next move, Collin McHugh goes to the Braves. Boo, 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 boo.
Family friend of yours, right?
Backyard Brad to the Rangers, Trev. You like this?
I do. I need to text him and get the numbers. Ooh, I want to break that. I'm going to text him.
Text him right now.
Text Backyard Brad right now.
Texting Backyard Brad right now. Actually, I have to go on my computer. Where is it? Keep talking, guys. I got something to do.
Well, you text Backyard Brad. The next big move, and we talked about it on Talkin Yanks last night, is the Yankees grabbed Rizzo, 2 years, 32, with an opt-out after one. The writing was on the wall that Freddie was going to the Dodgers, and I think the Yankees believed that Freddie was not going to go to the Blue Jays or the Red Sox. So instead of missing out on Freddie and then Rizzo quickly going to the Red Sox or the Red Sox, which was an option, they were talking to him, the Yankees quickly said, we'll just take Rizzo right now, which I don't know. Yankees are getting better on the margins while other teams get better drastically, and they had the option to get better drastically. I like Rizzo. He can play defense. He's lefty. He's a smart player, but he's not Olson or Freeman. So as Yankees fans, they kind of settled for the third option when we were all dreaming they'd go out and get wildly better.
So Backyard Brad, we've talked about it a few times. His hitting stats the last 3 years are really good, 800 OPS, and he hasn't had a starting job in a while. And right now he's penciled in to play third base for the Texas Rangers. So if he gets a full season, go nuts, Backyard Brad. And Texas can still add, and they still need to add if they want to fuck around with the Angels, Houston, and Seattle. Anthony Rizzo is a very good ball player. He's not the Yankees' problem, and he has a chance to be really good with the Yankees. Like, his stats ended up being okay. And this is not a joke, and like Trev may laugh at this. The foul ball home runs thing became like literally a joke last year. Like, on the broadcast, Anthony Rizzo was hitting one foul ball home run a game.
I did a compilation of them.
Jimmy did a video on it. If 2 of those hit the pole, like, I think our whole tone on Rizzo would be different.
And he said to Hap on the compound,
yes.
like, he's like, yes, I hit so many foul ball home runs. That short porch just looked attractive. So all you need to do is close up the stance a little bit, and hopefully we can pop some homers there.
Easy game. The Yankees have changed a lot, Trev. There's kind of a video game aspect to it. Like, wait, Josh Donaldson, Anthony Rizzo, IKF, like these, Joey Gallo's a Yankee. Like, the Yankees, since the trade deadline last year, the team has changed a lot. I guess as Yankee fans, there were killer Yankee moves out there. Freddie Freeman, Carlos Correa, Trevor Story. Pitching, that hasn't been addressed at all. So Yankee fans were looking for the nuclear change. It hasn't happened while Toronto is becoming a power.
Still a pretty good lineup when you really sit down and look at it. You know, you see all these other teams, especially in division, going and making these moves and doing all these things. And maybe you start to feel like you're left out as a Yankees fan. But, you know, when you start to go ahead, like you were just naming all those guys, and like the pitching wasn't the problem last year. Can they repeat that? I don't know. Hopefully. You got Garrett Cole. You got one of the best pitchers in the game at the top of your rotation. Great. You got some good depth behind him. Great. And a lineup, I know Anthony Rizzo's not Freddie Freeman, not Matt Olson, but the guy can be really good for you there. Like, we're talking about a guy who a couple years ago, maybe you are comparing to those guys.
Right.
So things happen. Guys can get comfortable in a place, put up really big seasons. I'm not overlooking this Yankees lineup whatsoever.
There's certain things that don't make sense. Like there's a trade, there's trade or 2 trades that have to happen. Because the only way you get your best players in the lineup right now is by DHing DJ and then playing Stanton in the outfield, and that's not going to be like the everyday or like
we're going to get 50 games of Stanton in the outfield. That's what we talked about, right?
Yes. So Glaber and Voit are probably being
shot. Yeah, there probably is more moves coming because there is, you guys were talking, the infield situation's kind of strange right now.
Yeah.
If you had to put it this way, and I know this is not the case, it's just dreamland, so I'll use one of Jake's phrases. There is a world where the Yankees aren't in the AL East, and we're like, damn, this is a really good ball club. But the AL East, it's nuts right now.
This feels like a aughts 2000 Yankees, just like when they got Abreu and Sheffield and all these kind of just like, not the end of their career, but like middle of their, the second stage of their career, veteran presences.
Just like stud vagabonds almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd.
Which it can work, Trev. You're right. You list the top part of that lineup. There are dudes that can have massive seasons. I mean, Joey Gallo with a full season at Yankee Stadium. Yankee fans got a small sample size of him last year, and they didn't fall head over heels. We will see. There are a couple other moves coming, and we'll see where that lands with this Yankees team. It's just going to be interesting to look back and say, where do some of these big free agent contracts land? How much could the Yankees have spent, and how much could they have used a Gio Urshela or Gary Sanchez to cash in on other pieces, or like who's going to be the catcher for the Yankees? The pitching was really good last year. I mean, it needed a little help. So I don't know. Yankee fans have hope, but right now the other teams look really good, and the goddamn Rays.
The next news on the Cron Pod is Chris Sale out for opening day.
Yeah.
Stress fracture in the rib cage, Trev. You ever have that?
I have had a fracture in my rib cage. It's not fun at all. Wonder how he did it. Stress fracture. So that's just like pulling down, or I got hit with a ball and broke my rib. That didn't feel good, but I mean, that's a blow to the Red Sox. Kind of counting on him to come back.
Was there any timeline stuff there?
They said it'll be weeks before he even picks up a ball. So I'm guessing that usually means like April, May. He probably comes back in June.
I was looking for if they said how he did it, but yeah, I mean, you have to give these things time, or else it's going to continue to flare up. So
Yeah.
I would say 2 months. It says 6 to 8 weeks. I'd probably err on the 8-week side of that. Which, yeah, I mean, if you're the Red Sox, you need to take your time and get him right, because you will need him down the stretch.
The Red Sox also signed Diekman. I believe we talked about that last episode.
Gross.
What's that?
He's gross.
Yeah, he's gross. He's good.
Oh shit!
What's that?
Oh, next topic is Seiya Suzuki, and I saw the contract details. I thought it was $575, but now it looks to be
85.
$585.
85 over 5 years. There's a posting fee that brings it up to $99 million total, but his AAV is $17 million. So $100 million for Seiya Suzuki for the Cubs, and now the Cubs have entered, like, the Stroman move put us in a blender where we were like, what are the Cubs doing? They just traded everyone. Are they going to, like, regroup for a year or two? Or are they going to go after it? And now all of a sudden they're spending a ton of money. They gave Stroman a 3-year deal, or is it 2 with an option, or just straight up 3?
I think it was 2 with an option.
They have it here as 3 on Fangraphs.
I think it's $375, isn't it?
Yeah, $375. They got Suzuki for 5 now. They got no one else really on the books, like, through 2024. So I don't know what the Cubs are doing, because what's their window they're eyeing for here? Next year? 2 years?
I think it could be. I think they're seeing a weak division, and maybe like, hey, maybe we can go.
But look at the Cubs lineup, and then look at the starting rotation and the relievers. I mean, they're not. Nothing's going to really excite you.
I mean, Stroman, Hendricks, Miley is.
Yeah, and they picked up Brault. I mean, it doesn't
Brault
scream
just signed
playoff team to me, but a competitive team for sure. I don't know. I'm just confused by the Cubs, because it's like, you're going to make more moves, because if you're trying to win this year, or is this year not the goal, where like kind of like the Rangers, and they're really just signing? Is it 2023, 2024 where they're trying to attack? But I'm weirded out by it. Good for Suzuki. He got a lot of money.
I'm thinking it's more of a let's see where we're at mentality. You know, they can go into this year competitive, and if they need to add, they can add. I got to imagine the payroll's pretty low right now, and this is not a small market team. So maybe that's what they're thinking. Let's see how it goes. Like I said, the division. Yeah, we got the Brewers, we got the Cardinals. I don't really think either of those teams, as currently constructed, you would say is just like a juggernaut going to run away with anything. I mean, the Brewers have that top end pitching, and all their pitching is just so good. But maybe that's what they're thinking. I don't know.
No, I mean, there's wins to be had, especially with Cincinnati punting now and Pittsburgh being Pittsburgh. I think the Cubs want to see where they land amongst St. Louis and Milwaukee right now. And I think on paper, you know, you'd still pick those other teams, but, you know, they're Andrelton Simmons. What is he going to be this year? Is he the all-time defensive shortstop that'll slap it around a little bit, or is he a fading Andrelton Simmons? Nick Madrigal, other end of the spectrum. Nico Horner, those are young guys. Are they going to take a jump? Clint Seiya Suzuki. I mean, we will find out.
Who's Seiya Suzuki, bro?
Man,
There's no Z in that first part of his name.
Seiya. Excuse me. I was saying hey yeah. I thought I had it. Second biggest contract ever for a Japanese ball player. I think that's confirmed. I think it's Tanaka than him.
Yeah.
So we will find out. Ian Happ was over here, the compound, our guy. He said, you know, there's a different feel. Like, the Cubs locker room for the last few years was Rizzo, Bryant, Schwarber, like the same guys. There's a different feel in there. We'll find out what Frank Schwindel is. And I think the Cubs have a little bit of that, like, there's a little bit of Red Sox in the Cubs. Like, if the Cubs get some good juju going and they have a nice April, Like, you just start to talk yourself in, and then, they find out which of those guys pan out, which of those guys aren't panning out this year, and if they can make one or two moves at midseason, stay in it with expanded playoffs. I think that's what the Cubbies are thinking. I think they are scared to push the chips all in, which has to be a little bit of a bummer as a Cubs fan.
Just they're waiting. They're gonna read the room in poker. I don't know if you know this, Jake. Sometimes you don't play your cards; you play the individuals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Could be what they're thinking. How is their prospect? I mean, they have some. They have some prospects. I'm always curious about that.
The Cubs.
I think maybe Farm to Fame needs to send us like the guys who could actually make a real impact.
That'll be a part of our TPPs,
Yeah.
the Farm to Fame prospects.
Preview. Cubs' number one prospect in the organization is scheduled to make
Brennan
his
Davis.
debut. Yeah. So.
And what's his deal? Let's check him out.
He's an outfielder.
6'4", 210, stud.
From Arizona.
Stud.
Oh my gosh, is Dylan Cousins?
Last year, he played in A, AA, and AAA and hit 19 homers, 375 on base. So there you go.
Pick him up.
So these are the type of guys, like if you're the Cubs, hey, this guy comes up and is good, and now you find yourself in a position, maybe they're at the top of the Central, just kind of like out of nowhere, and then you're like, hey, let's go add. So I don't know. We were out on the Cubs, but these moves are interesting, and I can't wait to see Suzuki. I mean, it's so interesting to me. I love when international players come over. We see guys from the DR and Venezuela all the time. We don't get a lot of Japanese bats coming over, and I just so curious to see how it translates. I think it will. Like, this guy has put up some monster numbers.
Seiya Suzuki, Peter Moylan. Any thoughts? Just brought us coffee. Our coffee delivery guy,
Peter Moylan.
Oh, the boner's there.
Shocked.
Peter shares my sentiment.
Shocked, not sure what the Cubs are
Shocked
doing.
and not sure what the Cubs are doing.
Hey, we saw Corbin Burns throwing Libby Pete, Suzuki. I mean, I know you're not worried about anybody, but dang, you're going to have to face that guy a lot.
Yeah. Peter, we're going to we do the team profile and projections, and we're going to do the Farm to Fame prospects for each team that might make the call, get the call this year. Brennan Davis, big. And you know what big guys do? They shave around their penis.
Easily.
Not an ad. We'll just go on to the next thing. No, it was an
ad. It was an ad, after all. What a trick.
March Madness is here. But it doesn't have to be down there. Tighten it up.
Is that what it says?
It was a whole March Madness basketball thing, but I had Peter's going to show us.
And look.
Okay.
Clean.
How does he look?
It
was good.
Clean enough. Clean enough. Yeah, I've got a similar. Manscaped. And you can use code TALK and you'll get 20% off, Jim. Good. Free shipping.
Love that.
Fantastic. Free shipping's like needed. Anyways, they've got the Lawnmower 4.0. It looked like Peter used it probably 8 days ago. 8 days ago, if I had to guess, getting ready for the trip. There's also, they throw in so much stuff. Trevor was using the chapstick. It was driving me nuts because my lips are so chapped.
Your lips are very chapped.
You asked me to use my chapstick.
Yeah, dog.
It's never going to happen, bro.
I almost asked you to leave it. Like, I'm hurting so bad, and I haven't left our Oasis.
I did drink your coffee, though, didn't I?
Yeah, you drank my coffee. Manscaped. Code Talkin. 20%
Nameless
off.
Jeff.
Free shipping.
Fan favorite of ours. I gave him a Manscaped package, a Lawnmower 4.0. Thanks me all the time for it.
It's nice of him.
He's like, bro, that you changed my life.
It's a nice guy. The next thing is the Tigers signed Andrew Chafin. So
sure.
they got fun in their bullpen.
He likes
guys.
lakes and boats, so I think there's Lake Erie around there.
He looks like he's from Chicago.
Maybe not. That doesn't sound right. Lake Michigan?
I heard Jerry and Jolly, the Shea Station Mets guys, they were talking about how Chafin would have been a good fit. New York City and Chafin, like I like him in Detroit. Like, grow out the mustache, be tough.
Yeah, talk with an accent.
Like, fix your own car.
We already did Matt Chapman
Yeah.
a little bit, but chronologically, this is the next one that happened.
We haven't really talked about it yet either. And this
Okay.
is Trev's guy.
This
He's
is
got
Trev's
tidbits,
guy. He's
I
got
think
so many tidbits. Matt Chapman goes to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays send Gunnar Hogg.
Gunnar Hoglund, yeah.
Oh, I like that.
What a name. I mean, it's Hogland, but I
But-
think you just go Gunnar Hogg.
Hmm.
Wow. Kevin Smith, Zach Logie, and Kirby Snead. Kirby Snead?
Names are so crazy.
Names are ridiculous. Kirby Snead.
Imagine a young Trevor Plouffe was in a trade and how much we'd butcher his name.
No, you wouldn't.
Look at it. I don't know. He looks like a third baseman with some pop.
Oh, the shortstop.
Trevor Plouffe.
Do you guys want to get into this or what?
Get into it, Trev.
You tell me. You got all the scoops, man. Good for the Blue Jays.
Again, even after the Olson trade, I was talking to Chap and seeing where his head was at, and he kind of saw the writing on the wall. And while we're at dinner, he had some interesting things to say. I heard some other things about him, about some packages that were being floated that he had heard. But in the end, the Blue Jays infield is just something else right now. The Blue Jays squad is just something else. I'm having a hard time saying like they're not. I mean, they're top 3 roster in baseball right now, and that happened quick. Like when did Vladdy and Bo Bichette debut? 19? 20?
Vladdy
19,
and
I
Bo
think.
debut 2019, I think.
And we're sitting here. They've become who the Blue Jays thought they were, and probably more. You're not sitting there saying Vladdy's going to do what he did last year. I mean, you dream of stuff like that. So you have these guys in your system. They come up. They become stars, and they're making no money yet because you haven't extended them yet. I'm not saying no money, but maybe still league minimum for all those guys, Bichette and Vladdy.
I
First
think
year ARB, something like that.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, you start getting achievements, you start getting paid. Like Vladito, 6.8 WAR last year. Jesus.
They're going to have to address that. Who are they going to extend out of all these guys? But now you're making moves. You're bringing Springer in. You brought Gossman in. And now you trade for Barrios. And you're just supplementing around these guys. And Chapman is like the cherry on top, man. Like defensively, he's a 2-time Platinum Award winner. Like it doesn't get any higher than that. The best in the fucking world at third base. Think about that, man. You get him. Plus, I think he's going to bounce back offensively. He talked about how much his hip was bothering him and how good he feels now. He's been working, doing some different things. He just was so excited to get to ball this year, regardless of who it was with. But going from the A's, who were selling everybody off, he knew he wasn't going to win there this year, to a Blue Jays team, like I just said, as one of the top 3 rosters at baseball. So
The Blue Jays are an awesome example of they built their farm system. They have their talent that came up, and they were patient. And if you want to use the word rebuild, or I don't know what it was. They did do a lot of trades where they sent away and they got prospects, but once the prospects are coming up, they've done phase 2 of the plan, which some of these teams refuse to do, which is spend the money to supplement the homegrown talent and win and try to win. Like it's I hope this becomes the new playbook for teams that need to retool or rebuild or whatever you want to say it, and hopefully we only get a couple, 1 or 2 teams doing it at a time. But that's so good for baseball and fun. I mean, as a Yankee fan, I don't like it. As a baseball fan, it's awesome because they got young talent, and then they're just spending and trading and making the moves.
Yeah, I mean, the Blue Jays probably deserve a little more respect as a franchise. Like, we're 2015, 2016 were removed from those Josh Donaldson, Jose Batista, and Edwin Encarnacion teams. They were really nasty. Back-to-back ALCS trips. Those teams felt like they didn't have enough pitching. They do a little reset there, and now, I was just Googling their payroll, and this is why, me and Blue Jays fans were getting in fisticuffs. Like, Toronto's got some coin. That payroll right now, I don't know if this is up to date, is sitting at 157. They
I
did
got at
sign
185.
So maybe that's up to date. Like 185, that would have them top 5 in baseball right now, something like that. So the Blue Jays, and I was getting into some bickers on Twitter. I didn't think they'd go out and sign another free agent. I'm gonna take a win for now because they went out and they made a trade instead. But they signed George Springer, they signed Ryu. They had to pay more for those guys to bring them in. So I guess that's where I get concerned when it's the model. Like I don't see the Cleveland Guardians, or when some of these teams start figuring it out, I don't see them going as big as Toronto has been able to on some of the free agents. But, again, that's kudos to Toronto. Their fans have been telling me how much money their TV contract is. Good.
Yes.
Use it. And they're gross. They are another video game team right now that if this clicks, this team has a chance to be special.
So
And really fun.
And really fun.
Very fun. Their offense and now their defense is going to be. I mean, that side of the ball, great. Starting pitching, I'm not going to use the G word.
Okay.
It's deep.
It's good.
Good. It's. I would even go almost. It's very good.
Okay.
I won't say great, but Barrios, Gausman, Ryu, Manoah, like man, if that guy is who we think he is, then maybe it is great. You got Kikuchi as your fifth guy. You still have Nate Pearson. What are you going to do with him? The bullpen, I think, they're going to still need to address. You have some guys there that can do it. We saw Romano. We saw what was the other guy? Merriweather,
our guy.
Yeah, they have other guys. I'm not super versed on the Blue Jays bullpen, so sound off in the chat and tell me who's their guys. But if they go address that a little bit too, we're looking at a complete team.
And they get to play all their games at home now, blah, blah, blah.
Trev, I don't want to get you fiery. I saw some tweets where people were like, Matt Chapman, like the OPS plus has gone down, blah, blah, blah. He is a perfect example of you can tell a story two different ways. The offense dipped. There's some hip stuff tied to it. He's also in 4 full seasons. He's been a top 8 MVP twice. There's a reason. Like he openly talked about the hip, and that's like a serious thing. Like I'll buy
all
the
swing a fucking bat when your hip hurts.
I'll buy all the Matt Chapman stock. That.
Can I tell you guys something fun?
All-time infield.
Fun stat alert.
Fun stat alert.
Fun stat alert. Fun stat alert. Trev,
FSA.
How much money do you think the A's currently have guaranteed on the books for 2023?
2023.
Does that include ARB guys?
I'm not including ARB guys because they can non-tender them.
A guarantee they have to pay out. I'm thinking right now who's on the roster that's not just going through ARB.
And I'm not including benefits.
Okay.
To my knowledge, there's nobody that has signed a guaranteed deal in 2023. I would say 0.
$1 million on the books if they buy out Piscotty's option. It's a $1 million buyout.
Okay. I totally
Elvis Andrews has a vesting option if he gets 550 plate appearances, so they'll just
he'll get 549.
He'll get 549, and then the A's have they buy out Piscotty for $1 million, and then they have nothing left.
That sounds very A's to me. But look,
I mean, right now it's 20.
They'll probably go win 88 games. Who knows?
That's crazy.
Books are
Can I give you the Chapman tidbit? I don't need the song.
Yeah.
Don't need the song.
I
heard from a very reliable source that the Phillies could have had Matt Chapman for Baum and one of their top 3 prospects. Philly said no.
Why would they want Baum?
Do with that what you want. Because they don't have him now.
Has Chapman ever won the MVP? No. Donaldson.
He will. He's I've been on record as saying best offensive year of his career, he'll win the MVP. But Ohtani fucked that a little bit. But
I was just trying to draw a parallel of Donaldson and going to the A's, and now Chapman's going, or the Jays.
I love that. Donaldson, A's to the Blue Jays. Chapman, A's to the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
And we're kind of on extension watch there. Like, the Blue Jays saw what just happened with Olson in Atlanta. They're going to try to throw a bag at him. Interested to see if Chapman goes for it, if he tries to have one or two stud seasons and then try to get that bag.
The Phillies. So a lot of this is probably the Blue Jays. Maybe they were in on Freeman. Maybe they never were. If they were, maybe they saw the writing on the wall the same way the Yankees kind of did and said, it seems like he's going to L.A. I don't want to be used anymore. Time for us to just enact the backup plan, so they make the Chapman trade. The Phillies don't get Chapman. It seems like they were in talks, according to Trevor's Birdies, and Chapman signs or gets traded to the Blue Jays, so the Phillies go to their next move, and they bring Schwarber in with a big, nice deal for Schwarber.
Freaking deal.
4 years, 79. Why not call it 80? And make the math easier for everyone.
Do we have a pass in? People are saying something about Amir Garrett in the chat. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting, but
he was here yesterday. We took a picture with him, so that makes sense.
Did Joe's take a picture with Amir Garrett?
Joe shook his hand.
Oh my goodness!
If Joe's McFly shook his hand, we might have a problem. Big Daddy Schwarber, Trev. I went through this one
to
day.
the Royals.
Amir Garrett to the Royals for Mike Minor.
What?
Wait,
hold up.
What a bizarre trade. Mike Minor in cash in exchange for Amir Garrett.
We got to get fucking Joe's in here, dude.
Text Joe's.
It's a lot of people trading.
Text Joe's.
I'm calling him.
What are we doing?
I can't believe this, dude.
Trev, go on Schwarber's.
I'll go off a little bit on Schwarber, yeah.
Go on Schwarber's stat page. There's 1 year since 2017. No, you can even include 2017.
You got to come to the
Joe's, come here.
Come to the studio. Come to the studio, Joe's. Come to the studio.
Come to the studio.
He just answered by screaming, "I did not touch that man's hand." He's the Grim Reaper.
He's the Grim Reaper. There's 1 year since 2017, and you can even include 2017. He had 30 bombs. Kyle Schwarber, and his 2020 was a bad season. It was 59 games. Everything else from Schwarber is lights out. 871 OPS in 19, 2021, 928. Schwarber's a stud. The Phillies, that top of the half lineup is nice, and I hope Joe's McFly. I hope Joe's McFly.
Joe's, you've traded 4 players on this trip alone, dude. Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, Jesse Winker, and now Amir Garrett. What are you doing?
I did not trade.
It sounds like you traded.
Did you say hi to Amir Garrett last night?
Did you say hi to Amir Garrett?
I did. I shook his hand.
You shook his hand?
You
I
shook
did.
his hand. Okay.
And now they're saying
Jose
J-Ram
Ramirez
is on the block.
I did see that.
And you took a picture with him, too. That'd be 5 guys that you said hi to that got traded.
Oh, man.
And none of them to the Yankees.
Brewsters.
Way to go, Joe's. Come on, bro.
Dodgers can't better watch out, man.
Dude, yeah, Joe's and Brewster Gratterall are now friends, so, that guy, he might be going overseas.
They're calling
he might be
They're
gone.
calling you Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe.
That's actually really good. That's
good.
awesome.
Who came up with that? That's good.
Someone in the chat.
That's very good. That's very good. Trader Joe's.
Man.
As soon
Let
as
me get my thoughts on Schwarber, and then Joe's can take over for me because I do have to get out of here.
Olivia's birthday.
I love you, Joe's. Trader Joe's is maybe the best nickname.
I think it was
ever.
Tom Ace that said it. Trader Joe's. That's awesome.
Incredible. Schwarber, I believe, I agree with you, Jake. The guy can absolutely rake. Phillies needed a bat, got a bat. I really like their lineup. I like their team. You guys have heard me say that a lot. I think the DH in the National League gave Kyle Schwarber another $20 million. 4 for 80, 4 for 79.
And the shift. I mean, I mean, that's why you're going to sign
Yes.
Schwarber for multiple years. We heard rumors that these guys would probably want an opt-out after 2023. Did Schwarber have an opt-out at all? Because
Not if you get a bag like that.
Not if you
I don't think so,
But
yeah.
the thought process is, what if the shift goes away and now Schwarber, Jock Peterson, all these guys, Gallo, are just 10 times as valuable as hitters because the shift is gone. They would want an opt-out to cash in on that if true. But it's a good deal, so he probably didn't get one. I love him batting in front of Harper. I like it. I don't know if
It's
it's
a scary
enough.
team, dude. This
I don't know
is
if
a
it's
scary
enough,
team.
but I like the construction of their lineup now. It's got added to.
The top half is strong.
Top half is strong, yeah.
Gene, Schwarbo, Harper, Real Muto, Reeser, our guy, and then the bottom half.
They got a lot of
Reeser.
lefties here.
Reeser, that's your dude, Trev. Yeah, I wonder.
Freaking guy.
We love some good balance. Phillies aren't done. Go get Correa, you sicko Phillies. Empty
Here's
the
Trevor
bank
Story.
account.
That would be wild. All right,
Empty the
Trev.
bank
I think we
account.
only got some other topics left. If you got to run, Eddie Rosario
Gotta
went to
run.
the Braves, and then we'll just make Joe's list every other player he's
touched.
interacted with.
I love you guys. Thanks for the chat. Was fucking popping today. So thank you, chat.
Love you,
2,800 people in the room right now. Gotta love that.
That's
love you,
awesome.
Olivia.
Love you, Olivia.
I'll see you
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Are we doing Friday? Or are we doing Monday? What's up?
Monday?
Monday.
All right,
Well,
I'll
but
see
we
you
might
guys
be
Monday.
recording TPPs.
There will be a breaking news.
If
Yeah.
there's breaking news, fucking let me know.
Love
Okay.
you.
All right. In chat, I want you to let everyone, if everyone live in the YouTube chat, let us know who you would like Joe's to meet next.
Yeah, we can still send them somewhere today.
We thought about sending you down to Tampa just to go meet the Yankees, like maybe shake Voigt's hand, and they're trying to move him. You might be
Okay.
the help they need.
I would like to go to Tampa.
Who else have you said hi to? Sessa? Dude, Sessa
Oh,
might get
I
traded
did
now.
say-
Oh,
God.
shit, dude.
I did say hi to Sessa.
He's got 1 year left on it. He's got this year
1
and then
year
Arb.
left on the
Like, if the
Reds.
Reds are cleaning house, Sessa might be on a move, dude.
Sessa. I definitely met Sessa.
Sessa had a good year. And look, Luis Sessa right here. He's got 2022 for 1.6 and then ARB 2023. That's a great reliever if someone wants to make a move. Shit. Who else have you met?
Trey Turner.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the Dodgers. I think you're safe there.
I think I'm safe with the Dodgers.
I don't think they're trading Mookie, Trey,
Not trading
JT,
them.
and Pollock, and Muncy. That's who we met.
Yes.
Giolito, I think we're safe there.
But when I did meet, when we went to White Sox camp,
Yeah.
we met Giolito, which,
Yeah.
that's safe there. But I did meet some of the White Sox. I met,
Whose hand did you shake at White Sox camp? Did you meet Robert?
was it Robert?
Who were you talking to?
I was with Plouffe. Plouffe
Dude,
would remember.
these are people's livelihoods.
I'm
man.
tired. I'm not doing anything. I just said, just say what up.
Are you sure you're not doing anything?
I'm not doing anything. I think I'm safe at Dodgers camp.
Joe's, so we talked Matty Chapman. Jim, what are some of the bullies from today that we talked about?
Chapman,
Matt Chapman, Kyle Schwarber,
Winker, kiss of death
Winker
to him.
trade. That was you again.
I mean, India. You saw India.
I did see India, but they're probably not going to get
Probably
rid of
not
him.
going to move him.
No.
What are the recent transactions did you like? Seiya Suzuki.
That's a lot of money, but if
It's a
it
lot
could,
of money.
if it hits,
Invest.
that's
Right.
something that'll do really well if he does really well. I think the Blue Jays are really
Good man.
I know that they're in division. I'm a Yankee fan, but I mean that Blue Jay move had A-Rod hit me up yo, we gotta watch out for the Blue Jays. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then they're talking about Jose Ramirez too. What's going on? So
They're just eating the 10 mil? What is this trade with Amir Garrett?
I don't know.
The Royals are getting Amir Garrett for this year and next, and the Reds are eating Mike Minor's money?
Can I say something? I have a little bit of an inside source here.
Oh, okay.
You know who came over to the house the other day? Whit Merrifield.
Oh, okay.
Whit Merrifield came through. Me and him had a nice little session together. And I said, like, hey, how's it going at Royals camp? And they're like, dude, we're good. You know, we got a lot of young dudes. We're feeling good. He's like, honestly, I feel like he was like, just being straight up, like, another arm in the pen, I think would be big for us. 48 hours later, Amir Garrett.
They still got Barlow and Stalmont.
That's what he was saying. He's like, I love our dudes in the pen, but he's just like, one more pen guy would really, like, balance it out.
But why are the Reds taking on Mike Minor?
Because they're going to trade him to the Yankees.
Probably are, dude.
I felt that happening.
God. Who else have you met? You met TJ Antone last night? You say hi to him?
Tell me you didn't.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Everybody that came yesterday, I met. So
that makes sense, man.
Yeah, I met. That's crazy. I was about to go to. I'm glad I didn't go to Padre camp. I would have probably been blamed for Tatis's situation.
Well, Padres did accept your media credential.
No, that doesn't count. I did not shake anybody's hand. My hand did not. I didn't even step foot in that camp.
You were accepted by the Padres.
God.
They did accept me, but that has nothing to do with it. I wasn't there. What?
Mike Minor? What are they doing? They're going to trade him, right?
Yeah.
They're going to trade Minor now. And
well,
what are the Reds doing?
What are the Red Sox doing?
I think Peter Moylan and Mike Minor are really good friends.
Seiya and Minor to the Yankees, Joes?
I would like to see Seiya back.
Me too, actually. I don't even care about how good or not good he is. I'm very fond of him at this point.
He's good.
I know he's good, but I'm saying I like the storyline of it.
Yep.
Joes, what do I need to do to send you to Padres camp and have you shake Eric Hosmer and C.J. Abrams' hand? Because I promised people in an episode a while ago that they were going to get traded together.
I mean, what are they replacing him with?
That's a great question.
I mean, if they do sign Freeman,
sure,
maybe, but
I don't think that's happening.
That's not happening. I think Freeman's maybe going to the Dodgers.
I blew it.
I hope it's not the Red Sox.
Dude, why haven't there been any Correa or Story updates?
Because no one knows what they're doing.
I think Correa's going back to Houston.
Dude,
I guess that has been the only Correa.
J-Ram and Ray Delgado. You met both of them?
Yes.
Probably packaged to the Red Sox?
Package deal.
Package to the Red Sox, maybe.
J-Ram?
Dude, if J-Ram's a Red Sox.
Who is it? Raynel Delgado? He was over here?
Delgado's dope.
There's a lot of people you met that should be worried now.
Met a lot of people.
So there are.
Can I tell you, if another one happens, if Seiya happens or J-Ram happens, and you have 5 people
Trader Joe's
you shook hands with in 5 days and they all got traded, I
mean, I think Olson and Chapman are happy.
Yeah, I think they're happy.
But
but you are powerful.
Who
you are powerful.
Who do you think got traded that's not happy? Oh, maybe Winker. Maybe
Winker cried.
Winker was very sad in front of you.
Very sad.
Like, he just had some interesting Reds quotes that got tweeted.
Who did?
He had a quote about the Reds not trying to win, whatever.
Oh.
So I think he's over it. Probably not.
We are kind of down to 5.
Not a real passing, and I know this isn't talking Yanks, but do want to hear the latest Silly Boone quote.
Sure.
People are going to Glaber's the backup shortstop.
Yeah.
Okay.
I told you.
5 impact free agents left. Carlos Correa, Frederick Freeman, Nick Castellanos, Chris Bryant, and Trevor Story.
Kenley Jansen.
And Kenley. I had Kenley as my 6, but wait. You're kind of involved in Kenley.
I'm not.
I don't know. Kenley might retire.
Can we tell that story without giving the details away?
I don't know how you would.
I'll just do like
No,
a blah, blah.
you can't. No details.
It's a really funny story.
Don't say
We were
anything
at-
that was said.
We were at Dodgers camp. Rosie was talking to Dave Roberts, the Rose and Roberts show, and we were standing on the sidelines. And
Dave Roberts is awesome.
yeah, really good guy,
Awesome.
good laugh. And we were wondering where Tommy Canley was because we've had him on
Yankees
our show.
fans.
Yankees fans. We've chatted
Yes.
with him. We wanted to say hi. He's with the Dodgers fans now. So as Roberts shakes everyone's hand to say goodbye and nice meeting you, Joe says, "Where's Canley at?" And Roberts heard it as, "Where's Kenley at?"
Yeah.
And
Because Kenley's been a monster.
and all
part
of a sudden,
that
you were
franchise.
a hard-hitting journalist, just desperate for a scoop as you held Robert's hand in your hand.
You strong-armed him.
I did not
Where's
strong-arm him.
Kenley
Where's
at?
Canley?
No, I did
Yeah.
not.
And his answer is a little bit of information that we're not going to share. But, yeah, you got the scoop. You got a hair right there. Gotcha. So, yeah, you
Sounds
are
good.
involved with Kenley now.
I'm not. I don't know. I did not. That was unintentional.
Like-
I asked that man about Tommy Canley.
Kenley Jansen, the next update will be like he's going to play catcher again in the KBO.
No,
He's trying to figure it out.
we'll see. I mean, he's still a good pitcher. I think he's all right.
He's good. I love Kenley Jansen, but
All right.
Trader
So-
Joe's.
A lot of
Pictures.
Guardians up for grabs. And Sessa, watch out.
Did John Boy Media just post like all the people that I met?
Yeah.
Oh man,
John Wayne said everyone we touch gets traded. And then there's a picture.
Oh,
hater!
Did
Oh,
you shake Hater's hand?
I did. He also followed me.
I think we're good on Hater. But I'm worried for everyone now. Trader Joe's. Dark Magic.
I think that's your shirt
Taylor
Trader
Hearn.
Joe's.
Oh, a Trader Joe's
That's
shirt
a-
is happening.
and a lawsuit too, probably
La Soup.
Yeah, probably a lawsuit.
a lawsuit.
Tell them about that sandwich you were eating last night. Play the outro music.
Thanks, everyone.
You were eating a weird sandwich.
Big breaking news.
Saddest McMuffin.
Or we'll see you Monday.
Yes.
It looked like you were eating an English muffin with a cookie in it.
I did not want to touch that. It's disgusting.
It's a good song.
Good song.
Shout out Mikey Rotano. Made the song. He also does the Warehouse Games music.
Warehouse Games. Go watch that.